You know, it's funny, right? Like how some celebs, no matter what they're accused of, it just doesn't seem to stick.
Yeah,
Like they've got this Teflon coating or something.
right.
And that's exactly what we're digging into today. How image, like really carefully crafted image, can shield people. And who better to look at than Diddy?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, he's facing some serious stuff.
Yeah, he is. And some of this isn't even new, right?
Exactly.
But he's had this like untouchable aura for what feels like forever.
It's wild. And today we're trying to break down how he's done it.
Yeah.
We've got excerpts from this deep dive it's called Diddy, right?
Yes.
And it's all about the crazy powerful people he surrounds himself with.
It's really interesting. One of the things the author argues is that it's not even just about fame, it's strategic, these connections. They call it, get this, a human shield.
Okay, human shield strategy, I'm intrigued. Like, is he literally hiring bodyguards? What are we talking here?
No, it's way more about image than physical protection. Like, they're saying by associating with all these super legit people, people known for their, integrity and their influence,
Right.
it changes how the public sees him.
Interesting.
Like, oh, if Oprah's cool with him,
Right.
maybe we should be too, that kind of thing.
It's so true, though, right? Like, our brains just make those connections without us even realizing.
Totally. And it's not just like a hunch this author has. They have a quote. I actually pulled it up. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, they literally say photos of Combs,
Yeah.
that's Diddy, obviously, with figures people are likely to trust, have been media staples throughout his career.
So it's calculated. It's like, let's get a picture with this person. Let's be seen with this person.
Exactly. It's very deliberate.
Okay, so who are we talking specifically? Give us the rundown. Who are these Teflon-coated friends?
Oh, man, get ready for it. We're talking like A-list times 10,
Okay.
Ashton Kutcher,
What?
Anna Wintour, Prince Harry, for goodness sake, J-Lo, obviously, the Kardashians, Oprah, I mean, come on, Justin Bieber, Leo DiCaprio,
Whoa. Okay, that is a lot of names.
Paris Hilton, Mariah Carey, Jay-Z. I mean, I could go on.
Okay, so it's a who's who for sure. But it's not just about name dropping, right?
Yeah.
It feels like each of these people brings something specific to the table in terms of, like, Diddy's image.
Absolutely. Take Ashton Kutcher, for example. He did this interview once where he said, and I quote, "I've got a lot I can't tell about Diddy, about their friendship."
Ooh.
Just that one little statement adds all these layers,
Right.
Like, what does he know? How close are they really? It just plants these seeds of doubt, and people love a little mystery.
Oh, totally. It's like instantly, I'm like, Ashton Kutcher knows something.
Exactly.
Okay, but then you have someone like Anna Wintour. I mean, she is the queen of fashion.
Right. Nobody messes with Anna Wintour.
Exactly. So, like, if Diddy's cool with her,
Right. Doesn't that kind of make him untouchable in a way?
it kind of does.
Think about it. All those photos of them at fashion shows, Diddy in Vogue, those weren't accidents. They were putting him out there as someone who belonged in that world, someone Anna Wintour respected.
It's giving if he's good enough for Anna Wintour.
Exactly. And who are we to question Anna Wintour's judgment?
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, but then you've got J-Lo. Like, we can't just gloss over that. That's a whole different layer considering their history.
Right. And it's a complicated history.
Yeah.
I mean, the article even mentions how they got arrested together back in the day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She was cleared, but still, that's out there.
A big deal.
And what's interesting now is her silence. She's Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
She could speak on anything, but on this, nothing.
It's very loud, that silence.
Right.
You're like, what's the reason?
Exactly. It's so intriguing. Like, is she staying quiet out of some sense of loyalty? Is it fear? Or is there something else going on entirely?
Well, that's the thing. And what's really interesting is the article kind of hints that J-Lo isn't the only one being quiet very deliberately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently a lot of these A-listers have made the very conscious choice to not say anything.
Wow.
And according to people close to J-Lo, that's totally intentional. Like, it's not my story to tell,
Okay, so then it's like strategic silence.
Exactly.
But then what's the message there?
Well, it's almost like the not saying anything actually works in his favor.
Really?
Think about it, right?
Okay.
These are all these people that are like, generally perceived as good people, right?
Right, yeah.
So their silence almost like becomes this weird endorsement.
Oh, interesting. It's like they're saying, well, if we're not saying anything bad about him, maybe you shouldn't either.
So it plays on our natural instinct to kind of give people the benefit of the doubt, especially when they're surrounded by other people we already see as, like, trustworthy.
Exactly. And it ties into this whole psychology thing. It's called the halo effect. Have you heard of that?
Okay, explain it to me like I haven't, because I feel like some of our listeners might be in the same boat.
Totally. Okay, so imagine, right? You meet someone new.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a party, whatever. And they're with this group of people. And you already think those people are cool, right?
Okay.
Chances are you're going to assume the new person is cool too, just because they're with the cool crowd.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Like their association with people I already like kind of gives them a little halo.
Exactly. It's exactly that.
So bringing it back to Diddy then, you're saying because he's always hanging out with Oprah, with Leo DiCaprio, some of their like good qualities get kind of projected onto him.
100%. It's like our brains just fill in the blanks. We see Diddy with Oprah, who's obviously, big on philanthropy. And we're like, oh, maybe he's secretly charitable too. Or we see him with DiCaprio, huge environmentalist, right? And suddenly it's like, maybe Diddy actually cares about the planet more than we realize.
Wow. It's kind of crazy how our brains work that way. But then it makes you wonder, like, are we all just like totally susceptible to this kind of image manipulation?
To a certain extent, yeah, I think so. We're always making these snap judgments about people, right? Based on very little information.
Totally.
Think about it in your own life. Like, how often are you sizing someone up based on who they're friends with, what they're wearing, what kind of car they drive?
Oh, all the time. I mean, I like to think I'm a good judge of character, but I'm definitely influenced by first impressions.
Totally. And it's totally normal. It's human nature. But this whole Diddy thing, I feel like really highlights how powerful those associations can be, especially when someone's been like carefully crafting them for decades.
Right. It's very strategic.
Great.
Okay, so if this whole silence thing is part of the strategy, I'm curious about the people who don't play along.
Yeah.
And, the article does mention one pretty big exception to this, 50 Cent.
Oh, right. And 50 Cent is not exactly known for holding back his opinions.
Not at all.
So that in itself is interesting.
Totally. And they highlight how he specifically called out Jay-Z, right, for, like, not saying anything about all of this.
Which, considering their history, just adds this whole other layer to everything.
Right. It's like we need a whole other deep dive just to unpack that.
Right. It's like watching this game of chess unfold.
Okay, so then how do you see this all playing out? Does Diddy's, like, Teflon shield hold up? Or could this be the thing that finally cracks it?
Ugh. It's so hard to say. What's clear is that, this strategy clearly works, at least for a while.
Right.
But it's not foolproof. And especially now, social media changes everything, right?
Right.
Information spreads so fast. Everyone has a voice. It's got to be so much harder to maintain that kind of carefully crafted image.
It's true. It makes you wonder, like, if this whole human shield thing can backfire, what does that mean for all the people who are part of it?
Yeah, that's the question, right?
Are they ready to go down with the ship? Or are they going to start jumping off?
Exactly. Will there be some distance?
It's going to be very interesting to see.
Very.
It's like we're watching this train wreck in slow motion, but it's not, twisted metal and stuff. It's like reputation's exploding.
Right.
But, okay, taking a step back from all the drama for a sec, what does this even mean for us, right? Like, we're not all hanging out with Diddy.
Right.
But this whole situation, it really makes you think about image and how we perceive people.
Oh, absolutely. If anything, I think this deep dive really shows how much power a curated image can have. And it's more relevant now than ever with social media and everything.
Totally. I mean, think about it. We spend so much time scrolling through these perfect lives, right?
Yes.
Everything's filtered. It's all like carefully chosen. It's easy to forget that what we're seeing is like the tiniest sliver of reality.
Totally. And it's not just celebs, right? Like, we all do it to some extent.
That's true.
We're choosing our profile pictures, our friends lists, what stories we share, consciously or not. We're always sending a message about who we are.
That's so true. It's like I never even thought about it like that before. But even something as simple as, I don't know, deciding who you're going to be seen with at a party.
Right.
That's kind of image management.
100%. Yeah, exactly. And I think the more aware we are of that, the more we can start to ask ourselves, like, the hard questions. Who are we giving a pass to, just based on who they hang out with?
Yes, such a good point.
Are we, like, overlooking red flags because someone's got this, like, human shield of respectability around them?
It's so easy to get caught up in that, though. Like, not that we should write people off just because of who their friends are.
Right.
But we also shouldn't let it blind us to, like, potential problems.
Exactly. And then on the flip side, it's a good reminder to think about, like, the company we keep,
Ooh, that's real.
And not just for appearances, but because those associations, they really do shape how other people see us, whether we like it or not.
So much to think about. It's like, going back to the article, it's like they said, the photos, the friendships, it all tells a story.
It does.
And for Diddy, that story just keeps getting more and more complicated. It's going to be wild to see what happens.
Oh, for sure. Like, will everyone stay quiet? Will we see people, like, jump ship?
Right? Where's the loyalty going to fall?
Exactly. But one thing's for sure, this is really putting that Teflon coating to the test.
It really is. And on that note, that is our deep dive for today.
Ooh, that was a good one.
We went from celebrity circles to, like, the psychology of friendship.
Yeah.
It's wild. This is one of those topics, though, that really makes you think. Like, I'm going to be looking at everything differently now.
Right. Question everything.
Yeah, like, what am I seeing? What am I not seeing?
Exactly. It's all about cultivating that critical eye. Don't just take things at face value. Dig a little deeper.
Love that.
Question what you see, and don't underestimate how powerful a carefully crafted image can be.
Words to live by. All right, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring those deep dives and keep those thinking caps on.